This is untold Black history, not because the knowledge was lost, but because it was buried. Here are 6 entrepreneurs who built wealth the system tried to stop. Born enslaved in 1802, Henry Boyd had a gift for building, but no freedom, no tools, and no one willing to give him a chance. At 18, he bought his freedom and walked nearly 400 miles to Cincinnati, chasing opportunity on his own 2 feet, no bootstraps. White carpenters refused to hire him, so Boyd made his own tools from scrap iron and wood, building his future with his own hands. In 1833, he patented a bed frame so strong it could be assembled without nails. It became one of the most sought-after furniture designs. Boyd's shop hired both black and white workers, unusual for the time, causing some white employers, pushed by competition, to slowly open jobs to black laborers. When racism blocked Boyd from selling his furniture directly, he outsmarted the system by hiring white agents to act as fronts. He supported his family comfortably and was one of the most prominent black businessmen of the 19th century. Henry Boyd's life is proof. When they lock the door, we break the wall. That same spirit lived on in another man, the grandson of an enslaved bricklayer, who built America's first black-owned architecture firm. Tap the link right now to see the full story and make sure our history lives on. Mary Ellen Pleasant's remarkable journey began at age 6. She was sold to the Williams family, who went broke and sent her to Nantucket as an indentured servant to the Hussey family. The Husseys were Quaker abolitionists. Mary Ellen developed business skills while working in their store. Mary learned by observing others, saying,
"I let books alone and studied men and women a good deal."
Mary Ellen married James Smith, a wealthy plantation owner and flour contractor. Passing as white, they helped enslaved people escape to freedom across the North and Canada. Armed with $15,000 from her late husband's estate, Mary moved to San Francisco during the gold rush to seek opportunity. Working as a cook and housekeeper, she eavesdropped on wealthy patrons and used their insights to invest in real estate, railroads, restaurants, and boarding houses. She was worth $30 million, or $1 billion in today's money. Dubbed the Black City Hall, she used her wealth to provide housing, jobs, and legal aid for Black Americans while fighting for civil rights. Are you familiar with either of these trailblazers? In the heart of Richmond, Virginia, in 1864, a girl named Maggie Lena Walker was born to formerly enslaved parents. Little did she know, she would one day change the financial landscape for Black Americans forever. After losing her father at a young age, Maggie watched her mother struggle to provide. This ignited her passion for change. At just 14, she joined the Independent Order of St. Luke, a fraternal organization dedicated to uplifting Black Americans. As she grew, so did her influence. Maggie became Grand Secretary of the Order, which was on the brink of bankruptcy. With determination and vision, she revitalized it, turning it into a thriving organization that empowered the community. Maggie saw a critical need for financial independence.
Let us put our money together. Let us use our money. Let us put our money out at usury among ourselves.
In 1903, she founded the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank, becoming the first woman to charter a bank in the U.S. Her bank financed over 600 home and business loans. It remains the oldest continuously operated Black-owned bank in America. In pre-Civil War Philadelphia, amidst societal challenges, a free Black man was about to transform the ice cream industry. Meet Augustus Jackson, a former White House chef and pioneering entrepreneur, known as the father of ice cream. Starting at age 9, Jackson served Presidents Monroe, Adams, and Jackson for 20 years, mastering desserts and experimenting with recipes. He innovated with eggless recipes and salt for better texture, making ice cream more stable and accessible to all. After leaving the White House, Jackson opened a catering business in Philadelphia. He created flavors like strawberry and mint, selling tins for $1 a quart to Black-owned parlors, empowering them financially. Becoming one of Philadelphia's wealthiest men, Jackson's techniques still influence how ice cream is made today. A Black inventor turned one idea into millions and built an industry that still prints money today. He started with nothing and turned cold trucks into cold cash. Frederick McKinley Jones was born in Cincinnati, 1893. His father, a hardworking Black railroad man, kept the lights on while his Irish mother vanished before he could remember her. By 9, his father had passed away, worn down by years of brutal labor on the rail lines. Alone at 11, young Frederick had no home, no family. Most kids ran the streets. Frederick ran libraries and junkyards. He pulled books from trash bins and built radios out of scrap. By 14, he was running his own auto garage, fixing engines for grown men twice his age and pocketing every dollar. Then came World War I, Army mechanic, fixing trucks under enemy fire in France. When he came home, he planted himself in Hollock, Minnesota, one black man in a tiny white town. They nicknamed him the town doctor because if it ran on fuel or wires, he made it live again. A local meat distributor complained to Frederick, "I lose money every mile, meat goes bad before it sells." Most men shrug. Frederick invented a fix, a self-powered, portable refrigerator that could bolt onto any truck or train car. No more spoiled meat, no more lost dollars. He didn't just build a cooler, he built an empire on ice. In 1938, Frederick and his partner Joseph Numero launched Thermo King and changed global trade forever. Fresh produce from California, safe seafood from Maine. Thank Frederick. When World War II broke out, his portable refrigeration saved countless soldiers by keeping blood, medicine, and food fresh on the front lines. 60 patents later, Thermo King wasn't just a company, it was the king of the cold chain. And it paid like royalty. A black man in 1940s America wasn't supposed to run an engineering boardroom. Frederick did anyway. Decades after his passing, he was awarded the National Medal of Technology by President George H.W. Bush. He mentored young black mechanics, showed them how to patent ideas, build wealth, and command respect that no one could take away. Frederick McKinley Jones didn't just cool trucks, he fed nations, healed armies, and laid the foundation for a trillion-dollar global supply chain. He was an example of relentless focus, protecting your ideas, mastering your craft, and never waiting for permission. He turned scraps into patents and one problem into a fortune. Do you think Frederick McKinley Jones gets enough credit in American history, or is he still overlooked today? Share your thoughts in the comments. His grandfather laid bricks and chains. He built legacies with blueprints. And while history tried to erase his name, his buildings still stand. Before we begin, join us in keeping Black American stories alive. Our family activity packs, from preschool to adult, come every month and inspire learning, pride, and resilience, and more moments together as natural as gathering in the kitchen. Now, let me take you back to where it began. In the 1800s, bricklayers were forced to build the very towns and cities that enslaved them. These skilled craftsmen shaped the mansions, roads, and walls of America with no freedom, no credit, and no pay. The work was hard, the sun was unrelenting, and every actual brick was made by hand. But creating materials and bricklaying was also a skill that could not be taken away, even in bondage. And that skill would be passed down to the family he created. In 1822, Moses married a free Cherokee woman named Miriam, and they had 14 children together. After slavery ended, Moses earned a solid income crafting and selling bricks. Their 9th child, Moses II, born before slavery ended, would later earn a living building homes as a mason and carpenter. Then his son Moses III learned by watching the sound of hammers, the weight of tools, the way a wall begins with one brick, one straight line. He asked questions, practiced measuring, and by the time he was a teenager, his hands knew how to build. But Moses wanted more than to just build, he wanted to design. He wanted to decide what a structure could be, not just how it was built. In an era where black men weren't allowed into architecture schools, that dream seemed out of reach. Determined, he started his own construction business and architectural firm in 1905. How did he fund his dream when banks did not lend to black families? Moses saved every penny he earned working construction. He took small jobs, built a reputation for excellence, and reinvested every dollar into tools, designs, and his own office. His brother Calvin McKissack officially joined him in 1922. That same year, Tennessee first required architects to be licensed. The McKissack brothers were denied because they were black. Undeterred, they earned architectural degrees through correspondence courses and passed the licensing exam. There were no investors, there were no loans, just skill, reputation, and savings. In 1905, Moses and Calvin founded McKissack and McKissack, the first black-owned architecture firm in America. By 1922, they won a federal contract to build a veterans hospital in Tuskegee, Alabama. During a time when segregation was law, the McKissack story teaches even when doors are closed, a skill can be parlayed into opportunity. Today, your skill, whether it's coding, designing, speaking, fixing, or making, can be the foundation for something that lasts. 5 generations later, McKissack and McKissack is still here. Today, it is led by Cheryl McKissack Daniel, Moses' granddaughter, who now oversees billion-dollar projects. That is the power of turning skill into ownership, and ownership into legacy. Stories like this are powerful, but they're also fragile. If we don't tell them, they disappear. Our history is not taught in school, so it's on us to teach it to ourselves, our children, and the generations coming after us. For a donation of just $1, we work together to keep this American history alive through the stories of black Americans like Moses McKissack. Stories of skill, resilience, and ownership that must never be erased. With your support, You'll get instant access to our Black History activity packs, designed for the whole family, from our earliest learners to adults. Each one is hands-on, inspiring, and made to build self-esteem and preserve our legacy. Tap the link below to make sure our history is never forgotten. That's Untold Black History, not just random facts and dates, but true American history. Uncover more of our real stories by clicking the next list on the screen.